Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Web's Women.
where exposure brings strength. Hi.
Well, hello there, and welcome to episode 39.
39. You knew I was gonna sing something today.
That was happening.
Not like last week, not like Jenny.
Oh, yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Oh, my goodness. So, how are you doing with the heat wave, girl?
Whew, it is muggy.
Girl, what?
Yeah, it's
Isn't it
gross.
like, oh my God.
It's gross. I'm not
I don't
gonna lie. It's
mind
gross.
heat, but not when it's uncomfortable and unbearable and
No, you have sweat dripping down your face. You got
Yeah.
all the sweats in all the areas.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, truth be told,
Yeah. Oh, yes. Truth be told. So let's talk about truth. I saw you did a post on owning your truth, and that kind of spoke to me. And let's talk a little bit about that.
yeah. I mean, I think I always say, I think for years I've always said, just say it like it is. When people try to talk around a topic, I'm like, just spit it out. Say it like it is. Spit it
Yeah.
out. Just say what's going on. And I think a lot of it, that kind of, when I saw that today, it kind of spoke to me. So, yeah, I shared it, and yeah, owning your truth, right? I mean, I think with a lot of things, I think if you own your own truth and you're comfortable in your own skin, and when you look in the mirror, you like what you see, I think that, there's what's there to hide? If you can help someone, you know, then what's there? I mean, and there's what I'm talking about when I say own your truth. I'm not saying criticize other people. That is not owning your truth. Your truth, meaning what you see in the mirror, what you do, who you are as a person, where your heart lies. Those are the things I'm talking about, owning your truth. If you have troubles and you need to, I don't know, go to therapy, own your truth. It is what it is. I mean, people do this. It's common. There's no
Yeah.
reason to be worried, scared, afraid. Um, you know, I just don't see a reason for people to be, you know, I guess fearful. I think it's a fear why people hide behind somebody else. It's not really who they are. So, there's a lot involved in that, own your truth.
Yeah. I like, how you broke that down too. I think people have different understanding about owning your truth. It means different to different people, right? And so, I think, when I hear owning your truth, it's about staying within your own integrity, your values, like you're
Mm-hmm.
very comfortable with who you are, and you're never going to
Mm-hmm.
waver from that, no matter how
Right.
somebody comes to you or tries to package something to you. It just doesn't stay in the alignment of your own truth. And I hear you mentioned, therapy, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of something I wanted to talk about a little bit. Because I find, especially now, and we hear it a lot, but sometimes, we have to keep saying it over and over again, because this is the world we're in. The mental health climate, it is like surged, like beyond
Mm-hmm.
since
Yeah.
last year, and it's
Yeah.
it's just surging. Anxiety levels through the roof,
Mm-hmm.
stressors through the roof for everybody. Um, some people are managing it a little better than others, but for the most part, it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have groups of people who either don't have outlets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are dealing with all these stressors or anxieties or whatever is landing,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not doing anything to address that.
Yeah.
And in the industry that I'm in and serving families across the state, we even see certain communication that comes in that's like, whoa, like, just seems like this person's just not in a good place. And you could just see in the way they communicate that something is wrong. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I think people are afraid to get assistance, get help. I mean, for me, I don't have any shame. I've done therapy for 4 years straight.
Mhm.
I can't recall what year that I did that. Brain fog, but it'll come to me. But I had to. And the reason that I decided to see a therapist was because I had a lot of things landing on me. I didn't know how to manage. I had a lot of stressors. My marriage was like really at a very delicate situation. I also had a lot of things rising up against me. You know, I felt like spiritual warfare against me. Like I was
Mhm.
battling a lot all at the same time. And I didn't know what to do. I felt literally like I was coming out of my body, like an outer body experience. So I got a recommendation of this therapist that helped, someone. And I was like, yeah, I need that person's name. I need help. And you know what? It's difficult to really even get in a chair. And then because about vulnerability, it's
Mm.
difficult to really state, what's because they ask you a lot of questions that you don't know that what they're going to ask. And
Mhm.
I'd be curious to see what, your experience, if any, what that looked like for you. But making me think questions that I didn't know how to ask myself. But in that whole process, those four
Mhm.
years, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about, how to, I guess for me, I took in a lot. And I always was the type of person that I feel like I have to rescue people. I have to, ignore things. I don't want to push a button. I was always very safe. That was just like who I was. And that was causing me a lot of, you know, um, it was affecting my own mental health because you can't operate like that. That's not
Mhm.
healthy.
Mhm.
And I learned that throughout the way. And I found who I was. I found, you know, I thought I knew who I was, but I guess I didn't really know until I hit a wall kicking moment in my life. Got to therapy. I had no shame in it. I've suffered from depression. I had postpartum after my son. I also had another episode. I've been on medication for that. And I have no shame in disclosing that because sometimes people will look at me and think, oh my God, she's so happy go lucky and her life is great. And it's like, yeah, I'm blessed. I'm grateful for the life that I have, but it took a lot for me to get where I'm at. And I still face other different challenges from my day to day, but that's nothing in comparison to the whole grand scheme of things. And so I think it's just important that, I feel like we're as raw as it gets and as real as it gets. You know, and we share our truths, right? And going back to owning your truth, owning who you are, and it's okay. It's okay, right? We hear it all the time. It's okay not to be okay. And I think society has put us in this box. Like, what's the matter with you? Like, get over it. Like, no, something is hurting that. There's a trauma.
Mhm.
How do we unpack that? It sucks to unpack trauma, but I think, by unpacking trauma, we discover you know, we discover a lot within ourselves, but then we also can come from a place of healing. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, and that's the point, right? That's the end result is the
yeah,
healing, and I think sometimes you don't know. For me, I didn't know what was, well, I was angry. I mean, I guess I was angry and I knew I was angry and I knew I was, I knew where I think I knew where it was coming from, but I didn't want to admit it. That was, I think, a lot of my issue. So I did go to therapy as well. And I was in Arizona and I couldn't get past this relationship. I don't know why I couldn't move on. I was like, I had a problem and I knew I had the problem. I didn't know how to fix the problem. And I thought I'm strong. I've always been strong. I could be a bitch, right? So I'm like, I know that I can get through this because anger will get me
hey,
through it, right? Because,
right,
that's kind of where I went, but I ended up going to see a therapist for 4 to 5 months. And I felt, the questions that were asked, right? All those questions,
yes,
all those questions, they weren't the right questions, I think. And I didn't realize it because I'm not a therapist, right? So I went and we talked a lot about that relationship
Mm-hmm.
every time I was there, and the reasons why I thought I couldn't get past them. I didn't really, I think I didn't get the right questions to find the right answers until I decided to try to work on myself by myself. So I stopped going. And then I realized it was because of my parents' divorce. I was angry then at 15 years
Mm-hmm.
old, 16 years old. I was angry then. I was angry during my college years. I was angry when I moved to Arizona, even though I wanted to move to Arizona and I loved it and I was happy moving. I didn't realize what I was holding on to and what was festering the whole time until I ended up, figuring out why I felt the way I felt. Why couldn't I get past where I was? And then I worked on myself quite a bit to figure, and I knew it, right? And then after having a conversation with my father, it was almost like, I mean, I was 32 and
Mm-hmm.
my parents got divorced when I was 15, going on 16. So for 16 years, I was angry. I was not getting over and through things like I thought I should. And I thought I was strong. And I showed that I was strong and everybody thought I was strong. But
Yeah.
deep down, the things that I needed to get through and go back to that trauma and take care of it, I didn't do for 16 years. And then I had the conversation with my father, later on. And I think I ended up, that weight was lifted off my chest. And not that it wasn't still present for me, it was still there. It's a situation, what happened. There was things that went on during that time that, I know now that I probably hold on to some of that still, right? I mean, you still hold on to that in my marriage. I still probably hold on to that. I mean, my husband and I we went to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I mean, I think it's healthy,
I do
really.
too. I
I
do
think it's
too.
extremely healthy. We went to therapy, not for long, but we did, and we'd go back again. It's not, to me, it's not something that is don't tell anybody, that we're
Mhm.
going, you know what I mean? It's a way to, I think it's a way that you have a common, especially in a marriage, right? I think that whether you go alone and then you come together at some point, you all both go alone and then you come together, or you just go together starting, from scratch, you go together. I think that to have the common, like having someone that's not in the, it's very close to this, to the
Uh,
scene, right? They're not close. They're looking from the
yeah,
outside in and they're hearing what you're saying. And I think that they bring up other things that you might not think about.
right. But I
You know what I
also,
mean?
and wouldn't you agree that you really, when you make the decision, whether you're not all in, maybe you're doing it because a spouse asked you or a family member, right?
Mhm.
But you at least have to be open. Because if
You have
you're
to be
not
honest.
open
Yeah. You have to own your
to it,
truth.
yeah, if
Yes.
you're not open to it, it's useless. The
Yeah.
therapy doesn't work.
Yeah. Don't go.
Right.
Don't waste your money. Yeah. If you're
Right.
not going to just say it like it is, if you can't own your truth and
And you
what it
gotta
is,
be, yeah, you gotta be honest, correct.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
why
mean, it is hard. It is, but there's almost a safe space that you feel like, okay, here it comes, right? Here
and
it
you know,
comes.
right, and you know what's good though? I find about going to a therapist, they don't know you. They don't know your history. They don't,
Mm.
they can really look through a different lens. And, instead of you landing it, say, like on your best friend, like say you talk to me about something. I mean, I'm gonna give you my perception or things by my experience, but
Mhm.
but a therapist doesn't know you.
Mhm.
So, I just feel like a therapist, again, the right therapist too, because you had said they
Correct.
didn't have the right questions. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you do have to find like someone you're comfortable with
Mhm.
and then do the groundwork.
Yeah.
And even though I've done that in my past, I already feel that I need to land in a chair again because now
Mhm.
I'm in a different, I've been in multiple seasons
Yeah.
for many years. And each season's bringing me a whole new something, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
although I manage, but I don't want to live managing. I want to be in a place of like I'm good, like I'm not that I'm not good, but I just know how I want to see things, kind of turn out for me. Like I want to be less anxious. What is bringing up the anxiousness in me? Why is my brain racing so much? What is it that I'm not discovering on my own? Because I do weekly, do work on myself, but what's there? Maybe I need to tap root into something deeper. I'm
It
willing
doesn't
to,
mean you have to consistently go though either.
right.
I mean, everybody has things that like come up, right? I mean, like you said, there's seasons, so you're just because you go to counseling or marriage counseling once doesn't mean once or twice and you feel like, okay, this part is resolved and we're going to work on
Right.
this. Then if you need to go back, you go back. If you don't, then you wait and see what happens. You don't need to go continuously to find yourself. Sometimes, like with me, I found myself without her, but talking to her made me look at myself differently too. Right.
Right.
So
Right. That
you start,
conversation.
right. And that person doesn't necessarily fix your problem. You fix your problem.
Hmm.
In the end, you are fixing it,
Right.
and you got to you have to want to. I
Well,
mean,
you
that's the
you have
bottom
to
line.
want to just do the work. Everything
Yeah.
is work. If nothing else,
Yeah.
you know, um, when your takeaway out of this podcast is that the message is not only owning your truth, but no matter what, you have to do the work in yourself.
Yeah.
So when you work on you, then everything else kind of just lands where they need to land.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I saw Ruth Carmazon, just to put a little plug in for her. I had my second acupuncture, and we had a little bit of a dialogue. I know you're so happy, right? That's really
Yeah.
great. And she has conversations, once, like, what does nutrition look like for me? What, like just pretty much about everything, but really the self-care portion. And she knows my hands are on a lot of things. And she made a very powerful statement, and I hope that I'm quoting it correctly. She says, when people are taking care of a lot of things, like other people, they're moving along on so many things, but no one's taking care of that.
Yeah.
It shows. And how it shows is you're more tense, you're more reactive, you're more like quick to, sound off. And I'm like, and she just goes, think about it. When you are taking care of yourself, whatever that looks like, whether it's a brisk walk or, whatever brings you that joy or that,
Yeah.
you're good, right? If you gave yourself that for the day, you ain't gonna be like, getting, I guess, reactive. And I just sat there and was like,
Wait, that's what CBD is for, though. I just,
I gotta plug that too, sister.
that's what CBD is for that non-reactive state you need to be in.
Yeah.
Well, listen, and I'll be the first one to say it because I'll own my crazy. I will own my crazy all day long. I had a friend that called me Crazy A, and I mean, he still calls me Crazy A, but still, I will own my crazy. I will own that I have gone batshit crazy. I have threatened people. I have absolutely gone batshit crazy in my day.
Well,
and the anger, now I know where that anger though.
Remind me not to get on your bad side.
Yeah, but see, now I know where that anger came from, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm oh so holy. That's not the way, that's not it at all. Because I can still go batshit crazy, but with a flip of a switch. But but I own it. It is what it is. I have that Italian temper. I can flip the switch really quickly, depending on if. And sometimes I'm a little bit now. I got to be poked at quite a bit to snap. So I've realized that there was, depending on the situation, if it's a relationship thing, I can go batshit crazy, and I know where that stems from. I know now, where that stems from. But, and if somebody tries to hurt me, in a relationship through the years, I have gone, yeah, bitch, I'll own it. I don't give a shit. It is what it
Yeah.
is. And I've been there. I've been down that road. I don't feel that way now. I feel like I'm old. I don't give a crap. Just listen, if we're in a my marriage, if it's not working, it's not working. We have to have a conversation about it. We're not going to tiptoe. We need to
Yeah.
have the conversation and just be real. It is what it is. Own your truth. I'll own my truth. Say it like it is. The toothpaste is in the fucking sink and it gets on my nerves. Whatever, say it. Own the truth.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's when I posted that, it was for so many different reasons.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
It work related,
Yeah,
right? Business. Like
yeah.
I am who I am. You know what and I say what I say, whether people really care about it or not. I think I own my truth when it comes to my hemp business and how I feel and things that I've done in the last 10 years to get me to this place. I think that I own that. And a lot of people might not like what I have to say, or it's a topic of conversation that is, kind of, some people don't want to open up and talk about it. They think, oh, don't say that. Let's not talk about that or be open. And there's a lot of, I think, with what I do, and I've said it, I'm pretty say it like it is. I feel that way. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. So I do hold back on things. I mean, like everyone does, but owning my own truth. If I will actually now look at myself and say, why am I so pissed off?
Right. Why?
Why? Right. And I will self-reflect.
I do that too.
Because I mean, it doesn't just go away.
Why am I getting
Feelings
upset?
are there.
It's not that serious. But then I recognize I'm on autopilot as well. And when you get in that autopilot mode, I'm like, as much as I know what I know, I easily fall in that like autopilot, nonstop. There's no time for this, no time for that, just nonstop. And then I'm wondering why I, see an email and, my hair stand up because, and it's like, but it's nothing bad. The email's not bad, but I'm interpreting like, oh God, now something else to add to my, list of things. But if I was doing what I needed to do for myself, I would have no reaction. It would be like, oh, all right, yeah, okay. No big deal. I'll add that to my, Friday task list because I have like a special way of organizing all my like requests. But anyhow, I love that topic. I appreciate it. I love when we get an opportunity to share our own truth and be transparent with our audience. I think that's so important. And it's important to just really keep those conversations going. And if there's anything that, I don't know, that bothers you at work or anything, just let it out. Don't hold it in because it definitely can be just holding on to a lot of poison. And I know that.
And it causes health concerns and things like that after. There's a lot of problems.
Issues, especially work environment. Like, I know so many people it's gotten sick. So bad that they had to leave, like sick, like they cannot work. And it's because they're not going to the doctor. They're not stopping. They're just going and going and going.
Or the company expects so much out of you that you feel you're going to get, now there's a fear you're going to get fired because you're not working 12 to 14 hours a day. So you have a fear there. It's about the money. All of a sudden you're stressed because now you're thinking about the money and you're thinking, so it is like constant and it just keeps going, right? It unravels in your head. Is what happens.
Absolutely.
And so that causes stress. Pop a gummy.
There you go. We'll talk about that in the next.
That's my solution to everything. Pop a gummy.
Yeah, you'll feel better. Pop 2 gummies, sometimes 3. So really awesome. Well, thank you so much. And
and I hope someone took something away from this. And we help somebody. One person is enough. For this conversation.
If it resonates with somebody, hey, we did our job,
Yes. Amen.
Feeling, a certain way. In fact, we're building up our Webs Women website where we're going to have a lot of great resources just that you can contact, for under mental health. there's a lot of great organizations, and it's
Mhm.
private, it's confidential, but there are resources out there if you ever feel like, goodness gracious, I need like something,
Mhm.
and you know, and you don't feel you can turn to someone, just turn to those resources. So that's going to be
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah.
All right, girls, stay cool, stay hydrated, because I'm like
You
melting by
too.
the minute. I hope I melted off some inches. Um,
I hear you. I hear you. Some of those COVID pounds taken off.
yeah, girl, it's time to
Yeah.
take that off.
Sweat
So
them away. Sweat them away.
remember, everybody, you're listening to Webb's Women.
Where exposure brings strength.